Just realized the microphone wasn't plugged in there. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to not make this one too long. I want to talk about patriotism, and this is not going to be exhaustive. I'll be covering this probably in other videos, and I've already covered it in previous videos. I want to talk about a very basic issue, which is this: the Union flag, or the Union Jack. There's a bit of debate over what's the correct term. Some theories suggest the Union Jack is strictly a naval term, others say that hasn't been proven. But either way, it's a flag of the United Kingdom. As you can see, you may be able to tell, I've got one over in the corner there as well. Um, I love my country, and I fly this flag, or I hold the flag up there, um, partly for decoration, partly to express my fondness for country. Also, I need somewhere to put it. I've got the flag, so has to go somewhere. Um, and also because I utterly reject the arguments that I'm going to be dismantling in this video. Um, Now, apparently, the TV presenter Holly Willoughby has provoked the disgruntlement of her neighbours in a fancy part of London. I don't know, can't remember where it was, but it's been reported in the Evening Standard because she is flying, excuse me, a Union flag outside her property. Now, I don't know what her politics are, but I've never ever had Holly Willoughby down to be some sort of far right neo nationalist. Presumably, she's flying it for the same reason I am, because she cares about her country and she likes the flag. From a purely aesthetic point of view, forget patriotism and all that sort of thing. Aesthetically speaking, I happen to believe it is one of the nicest flags. It's symmetrical, it stands out, it's artistic, it's a nice flag, aesthetically speaking. Call me biased, but I think it's one of the best. I like the flag of Brazil. I like the American Stars and Stripes, and there's a number of other countries I like, just aesthetically speaking. Um, I think there's a psychology in the backlash against the Union Jack, and I find it very, very unfortunate. And that psychology is if someone portrays the Union Jack, they must be some sort of blood and soil nationalist. They must be a racist. Apparently, what the neighbours here have said in response to Holly Willoughby flying this is this area we've never flown the Union Jack. Most people here vote Conservative or Liberal Democrats, not BNP. So the insinuation they are making is that only BNP supporters fly the Union Jack. Well, notwithstanding the fact that the BNP is now defunct, I really take issue with that insinuation. And I would suggest that those who automatically make an equivalence between flying the flag and the far right, blood and soil nationalists, racists, they're actually empowering those people because they're saying that they own our national flag. Now, this is the national flag of the United Kingdom. You know, we use it at international events. We use it in trade delegations. We use it in political summits. We use it in the Olympics. It's our national flag. So the idea we should be ashamed of the flag itself is utterly absurd. I'm not talking about people criticising the government, and I'm not talking about people saying that we've done something morally wrong on the world stage. What I take issue with is the linking of the flag with the far right. I really have a problem with that. Does the far right use it? Of course they do. Of course the BNP uses it. Of course the English Defence League uses it. And of course some other very unsavoury organisations, Britain First, use it. But that does not mean they own it. And it makes me angry that many on the left and some on the right seem to make this equivalency. I think it's sad, for that matter, that both Labour and the Liberal Democrats will never ever portray the Union Jack in any of their party material. I find that sad because they are linking it with the far right, and they think if we use this, then we're betraying our principles. I would argue you can be left wing and patriotic. So you could believe in social democratic values and still love the country. Um, I just find it very unfortunate that there is that analogy. Um, I can honestly say I have friends from all over the world, from all backgrounds. And I know that sounds like a cliched sort of thing to say, but in my case, it really is the truth. Not long ago, an Iranian friend of mine, who happens to be an asylum seeker, he's an Iranian Christian, he's in his country fleeing persecution because of the situation there. I welcomed him to my house. We watched a film. I had the flag in the corner. So clearly, I'm not someone who's got this whites only mentality or this blood and soil nationalistic mentality. My views on immigration are roughly middle ground. I do believe we need to be strict about it. I believe we need tough vetting, but I certainly don't believe in a whites only Britain. And what I've noticed is some of the most patriotic people around are ethnic minority Britons, especially those who are several generations down the line. This year marks 70 years since the Empire Windrush arrived in Britain with West Indian immigrants. And some of those people are among the most patriotic people around. So I really have a problem with this smearing of our national flag. If you think that the only people who use the flag are racists, all you're doing is empowering the racists because you're saying they own our national flag. You're actually giving strength to their argument. Why do that? So fly the flag if you want, you don't have to, but fly the flag with pride. Reclaim it from these people. And why should we be the only country in the world that should be ashamed of our national flag? It's utterly absurd. I mean, most other major countries I can think of, you will see the national flag um, in many public areas. You will see it flying around, and most people don't make an issue of it. Well, okay, there is left wing activism going on in the United States against the Stars and Stripes, um, and probably there is an undercurrent of it in France, but you don't see it in China or Russia, right? And you could argue those are very different societies. But the point I'm making is this notion that we should be ashamed of the flag itself. If you disagree with what the British government's doing, that's fine. That's your democratic right. But do not associate the flag itself with racism. That really makes me angry because there are many ethnic minority Britons who have used this flag with pride, whether it be representing sports in the Olympics, whether it be serving in our armed forces, um, or in another capacity. So it makes me angry that it's associated with some sort of white supremacy automatically. That's nonsense, and it's the worst sort of revisionism. So I will fly the flag. I will not apologise for it. I don't fly it in the street. Um, in terms of flying it in the street, well, it's the way I would view that is it's Holly Willoughby's house. It's her business. If snobby neighbours have a problem with that, it's their problem, really. It's not like she's forcing them to fly it as well. It's not like she's trying to recruit people to some sort of political front. She's simply flying the flag above her own house. And I just find it very sad that the neighbours are automatically associating it with the BNP. So let's reclaim the flag from racists. Let's reclaim it from blood and soil nationalists, which, by the way, are ideologies I despise. I hate that sort of mentality that the far right come out with, and the far right are on the rise. So that's why we need to be assertive about this. Although I would argue part of the reason they are on the rise is because of the stupid mentality of the regressive left, particularly in regards to fascist pan-Islamism and Islamist supremacism. Um, True moderates should not be ashamed of our flag. There is nothing wrong with this, and I wave it with pride. If you have a problem with that, I won't apologise. I just won't. The only thing I would stop short in, and this is never going to happen anyway, I would stop short of, for example, making school children salute the flag, which happens in China, it happens in the United States, I wouldn't necessarily support that because I think it's a little bit cult like. Um, but that doesn't happen in this country, and it's highly unlikely to happen in this country. We go to the other extreme of shaming the national flag. Why? Why? If there's nothing wrong with it in the Olympics, then why should it be taboo in someone's house, outside someone's house? Utterly ridiculous. You know, if local councils can fly it, why shouldn't individuals be able to fly it? It's an utterly absurd proposition, I should say, that the flag equals racism in itself. Utterly absurd.